Hello and welcome to Journey to Lasting Love, the podcast. I am your host, Tina Shayani, and the head coach at T-Shay Coaching. If you are looking to attract a loving partner to build a relationship with that gets better with time, if you are looking to deepen your current relationship, or you just want to live a happier life, you are in the right place. Every week we will discuss a new topic that will bring you understanding, clarity, and the tools to become the best version of yourself, the happiest version of yourself. What I'm noticing more and more with my clients is not only we work on the loving relationships, but we work on setting up your life so that you can have the life that you want to have, so that you can be happy within yourself before you begin a relationship with someone else. So very often with my clients, we end up doing a really whole life overhaul, and the results happen time and time again and rather quickly. And every time the results come in, I am amazed. And it is such an incredible feeling to watch my clients blossom, watch them grow in how they see themselves and the world, and then begin to change the way that they interact with the world around them and other people, and then to see the new things that enter into their life experience. Let's jump right into this week's topic. Our topic this week is a very important one. It talks about getting unstuck. How do we get unstuck? And it happens to all of us at some point in our lives that we get stuck in a situation in our lives and we just don't know how to get ourselves out. We become embedded in this place that we are not happy in, and we just don't have the tools to get ourselves out of that rut. So I am here today to discuss those tools and to offer you those tools, help you to begin moving forward. The only way to get unstuck is to begin moving. You need, if you are stuck, you ever have tried to glue something with crazy glue and your fingers get stuck together? What do you have to do? You have to begin moving. If you sit like this and cry with your fingers stuck together and cry and say, oh my God, I'm stuck, you'll be there forever. You have to start moving. As you start to move your fingers against each other, the glue will begin to become unstuck. And this is exactly the same principle. If we sit in the rut that we feel stuck in, and we just feel sorry for ourselves and say, woe is me, I am stuck and I cannot get out. Guess what? You're going to remain there forever. And what you're saying to yourself and to anyone else who will listen, that I'm stuck and I can never get out of this situation, will become your truth. And it will be true because you keep saying it and you're not moving in order to get out of that stuck feeling. Really, in essence, you are adding more glue by those statements of woe is me, I am stuck in this terrible situation. And it doesn't even have to be a terrible situation. It can be just a situation that you are unhappy with. The irony is, oftentimes when it's a truly terrible situation, it's easier to get out of, because when things are really terrible, we get pushed to a point that we just cannot take it anymore, and we have no choice but to begin moving. But when something is not so terrible but not great and we feel stuck there, people are more likely to stay in that kind of situation because the pain of being there is not enough to motivate them to begin to move forward. So we want to change this. We want to get you unstuck. We want to get you to stop adding the glue to your situation to keep you where you are and begin to move forward. And how can we do this? It really feels so overwhelming that I am stuck in this position. This is the life that I have. All of these things have happened to me, and I just don't know how to get out. And it applies to so many different aspects of our lives. I know here we talk a lot about relationships, and relationships are one aspect. I am stuck in this relationship that is not good, and I don't know what to do. I'm looking to begin a relationship, but I don't know how to do it. I am in a job that I am unhappy with, and I don't know what to do. I am unhappy, and I hear this more often than I care to. I am unhappy with my weight, and I don't know how to make a change. So we are going to address all of these things. And we are going to work because the principles are the same. The principles of getting unstuck in all of those three examples that I gave you are the same. The principle of pulling yourself out, of beginning to move and change your life situation. And once you start that little movement, you will be amazed at how things begin to move, how external factors that you imagined were against you will start to work in your favor in order to get you out of this rut, and not only get out of the rut, but to get moving towards and to a place that you want to be. So let's start at the beginning. What are the number one things that are keeping you where you are? I'm going to tell you, and it's going to be surprising. It's not something outside of you. It's not some external force that's out to get you and has some vendetta that wants to ruin your life. It is not that. The only force that keeps you where you are and prevents you from getting out of the rut and going to the place that you want to be is you. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. It is a very scary idea to understand that we are the thing that is propelling us forward or standing in our way. But this is a truth. The thoughts that we think and the beliefs that we hold are the things that are holding us back. Those are the things. But here comes the good news. We have the power to change those thoughts. We have the power to believe differently. And that is the first movement. That's the first big earthquake to get you unstuck. And it's a little movement because it takes a little shift, but it will create a positive earthquake that will get that glue that has you stuck unstuck. Okay, here it comes. Tina, yeah, but do you know what has happened to me? Do you know the things that I have been through? Do you know the people that I have met? I'm trying to have a relationship, but I meet all of these terrible people. I meet these people that are terrible. I meet these men that are arrogant. I meet these women that are whatever. Now, here it comes again. I have my own yeah, but for you. Yeah, but you can continue to tell this story. You can continue to tell yourself and anyone and everyone that will listen this story of why you are where you are. And you can continue to believe these things. You can hold on to them as tightly as you want. But what are you doing? You are staying where you are. You are just justifying where you are. But you have the power to start thinking different thoughts. And those thoughts will start to lead to different beliefs. You can say there are a lot of arrogant and terrible men and women out there, but there are also millions of people in the world. There are millions of people in the world. And yes, some of them are terrible, and I'm going to meet those terrible people at some point. But there are also people that are wonderful and kind and loving, and also looking for a loving partner as I am. And I am open to welcome those experiences with these kind and lovely people into my life. You see the small shift in that thinking? The small shift creates a difference. I'm not telling you that you have to change every thought you've ever thought in your life. It's impossible. But create a little shift. Instead of saying all men are this, some men are this way, but there are millions of people in the world, and I am looking for the people that are kind and sweet and emotionally and mentally healthy. You see the difference? It's a small shift, but it makes all the difference. And you're going to have thought setbacks when you begin to change your thinking. You're going to fall back onto your old way of thinking and your old habits, and that's okay. We have each spent a lifetime thinking a certain way and believing a certain way. And to change it is going to take some patience. It's going to take some time. It's not going to be an instantaneous phenomenon. And when we understand that, it makes it so much easier. So be kind to yourself and forgive yourself if you have a setback, if you go back to the old habit. But the idea is not to give up. Pick yourself up and continue to move forward. This is how we create radical change in our lives from a small movement. You have the power to do this. Then let's use the example of the weight, which I really can't stand. If I have one more woman tell me she wants to lose 3 million pounds, my head may explode. Or one more woman tell me that she is unattractive. There are so many people in the world and very few supermodels. So first I want to say, stop it. But I know that you won't. So let's see what we can do. Do you really want to do it, or do you just want to complain about it? And my invitation to you is either do something or stop complaining about it. But to do something and to get that needle moving forward, if you are unhappy with your appearance, and this complaining about the weight issue all the time is simply being unhappy with your appearance. So you can start to jiggle that. You can stay home and complain about it and say, I'm fat, I have a bad metabolism, blah, 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 all of those things that people say. Or you can get up in the morning and you can make a small shift. Start with lip gloss. Do something small to better your appearance, to make yourself appear better to yourself. I'm not worried about the judgment of the world. The judge that is the most important in your life is you. And if we can convince that judge that you are lovely and wonderful and amazing today, then all of those other things that you will like to change will begin to fall into place. So start with small changes. Get a new haircut if you're unhappy with your appearance. Start with the lip gloss. It doesn't take very much. And these small steps will help you to feel better about yourself. And that small step leads to the next small step and to the next small step. And the next thing that you know, a big change has occurred. A lot of times what we do when we are in that position of being stuck, we feel that like, oh my God, in order for my appearance to be good, I need to lose 40 pounds. And it becomes so overwhelming. The overwhelmingness of that idea makes us feel stuck. It's too much to handle, so we give up before we even started. So just do something small. Take little itty bitty steps, and that will lead you your overarching goal, and it won't be so intimidating. So yes, it's good to have a goal in mind, but not a goal that will intimidate you and make you feel like a loser that can't do anything. So start with tiny, tiny steps. Imagine if you have a big bucket of water, a big bucket that you want to fill up, and every day you put 1 cup of water in there. It doesn't fill up right away, and it doesn't seem like much on the first day, but eventually that bucket will fill up, and the same principle applies here. So itty bitty teeny steps. You're in a job, you feel stuck in that job. Well, what can you do about it? What small things can you do? There are no jobs out there. Don't say it. Don't say it. Look, there are millions of people on earth that are employed. And if there are jobs for those millions of people, you also have opportunities. But the more we say and think and believe that there is no opportunity out there, the more true it becomes. The more true it becomes. So start to look for small opportunities. Start to look for interviews. Begin to put yourself out there and see what you find. And you may be surprised with what you find. What you find out there may not be something that you even knew existed. Now, this same principle applies to relationships. I'm looking to get married. Okay, great. But everywhere I look, there are terrible people. I went on this date. It was horrifying. Do you know what he said to me? I hear these stories time and time again. But if your goal is to be married, what is the first small step that you take? The first small step is to tell the people around you that you are looking. Begin to expose yourself to opportunities where you can meet people. And not every date, not every conversation has to lead somewhere. But you have to be out there in order to have that. But before that, you need to take and see, what are my patterns from before, and how can I be sure that I don't end up making the mistakes of the past. So these are all small little steps that we can take. The other very powerful thing to help you get unstuck is to work with someone, which I happen to have 2 spots available, but it doesn't have to be me. It can be a friend or a counselor or somebody who is going to act as your cheerleader. Who is going to be your cheerleader? You can be your own cheerleader, but it also helps to have someone to call on when you are feeling down on yourself. Someone to encourage you. Someone that when you say, this is what I want to do, they say, okay, so let's do it. How can I help you get there? That's my job. Hold on. So a friend can do that too, but I think I can do it better. So these are the things that we can do to get unstuck, and you can start right now. You can start today by deciding, number 1, that you don't want to be in the situation that you're in anymore. That is the first and most important decision. Number 1. Number 2, know that you have the power to create a different life for yourself. You are so much more powerful than you give yourself credit for. You have the power. Number 3, start small. Don't start with, I want to rule the world. start with something small. Don't set a goal that is so big that it feels overwhelming. Set small goals. You want a relationship? Start telling people that you're looking. Start to go on dates. Start to be out there in the world. Go to events. You may go and it may lead to nothing. But if you don't go, there is no possibility of it leading to something. If you want to change your appearance, start small. Start with the lip gloss. It makes a very big difference. I get up every morning, and I even did it during COVID, that I put on makeup in the morning and did my hair. It makes me feel good. I don't feel good if I don't do those things. That's me. But for everyone, a little bit makes a big difference. So start with those small changes, and start with changing the words that come out of your mouth and the thoughts that you are thinking in your head. I know that you've been thinking these thoughts for a long time, but these thoughts that you're thinking, these beliefs that you hold, they are not universal truths. They are not like the law of gravity. You know, it's the law of gravity I'm stuck with. If I go upstairs and I jump off the roof, the law of gravity is going to get me. It is not the same as the thoughts that I think. The thoughts that I think are habits, and those are changeable. That is a very important place to start. Know that you can change the thoughts that you're thinking, because those are the only things that are holding you back. There is no universal law holding you back. There's no power outside of yourself that is forcing you to have the life that you have and to be stuck where you're stuck. You and only you have the power to change that and to start to wiggle yourself free from being stuck in the rut that you're in. And you can do it. I have seen many people transform their lives in a very short period of time. If you're in therapy for 10 years, it's not the right approach. You have had a certain approach to life for a number of years. Look at your strategy. If it's working for you in that department of your life, great. Keep doing it. But if the strategy has not worked to get you to the place that you want to be, it is time to change that strategy. It is time to start doing things differently in order to have a different outcome. If you continue to think the way that you're doing, your life will be on a certain trajectory, and it has momentum to continue on that road. If you want to create change, first you have to change lanes on the highway, then you need to make your way to the exit ramp, and then you can lead yourself to another road. But even on the highway, the progression to change your momentum, to change your trajectory, has to be subtle. You can't go to the third lane and from the third lane of the highway and suddenly make a right turn, a left turn, or a U-turn. First, you have to change your lane. You have to approach the exit. You have to get off the ramp. This applies to everything in our lives. And the same way you can get off the highway, you can change the trajectory of your life, and you can begin to wiggle your way out of this feeling of being unstuck. Wiggle your way out of this feeling of being stuck. And before you know it, you will be in an entirely different place in your life. And wouldn't that be an amazing thing? Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this content inspires you to get moving and to wiggle your way to a new life. Thank you for joining today's episode of Journey to Lasting Love. If you felt a connection with what we shared here today, visit tshaycoaching.com for resources, blogs, and coaching options custom designed to take you from where you are to the place you dream of being. Join our Facebook group to connect with others or find inspiration on YouTube and Instagram. If you're ready for a personalized touch, you can book a call with me directly on the website to see what this is all about. Until next time, be kind to yourself and keep moving forward on your path to lasting love.